Hello everybody, this is Nick from BIM Pure. In this video, I'm answering a question from a user asking if it is possible to create Revit line styles that include letters, such as in this image for MEP, or I even saw architecture using this for fire resistance with 45 or 60 or other values. It is not possible with the out-of-the-box lines tool, but you can create a custom detail item family and incorporate letters. It is possible. I'll show you all of the steps. First, let's go to File, Create a New Family, and I will use the metric, where is it? Detail Item Family. I'm not using line-based, so just this one. And immediately I will create two new reference planes on each side. And this one, I will unpin it at the center. This one on the left side, I will click to define the origin, and I will assign the left side, and I'm going to pin it. And then this one, I'm going to select it and make it on the right side. Then I'm going to create dimensions with shortcut DI, like this, clicking on EQ to ensuring the center is actually the center, creating a new dimension like this. Let's select the dimension, click on this icon, and I will call this length. Okay, let's try it out. Good. So we want the left side to be the origin, just in case we change the dimension. One of the side is going to stay put, which makes more sense for this workflow. Next, let's create a nested family in the generic annotation category. So let's go to the annotations folder, select metric generic annotations. I can zoom in, delete this red text, go to the create tab, select a label. I'm going to click right here and create a new parameter that I will call letter. And data type should be text. We can leave this at type, it doesn't matter. I'm using the green arrow to move it to this side. The sample value, I'm going to use X. Okay, good. And then I can nudge this to ensure it is truly centered and adjust the dimensions of the text box. And then this is 3 millimeters. I find it's a little big for something that's going to be incorporated in the detail item family. I will reduce this to 2 millimeters instead. And all right, this is done. So I'm going to save this family. And then I'm going to load into the other family, the detail item family. And then I will just click at a random spot to place it. Right now we can see it's question mark. So the next thing I'm going to do is to associate the letter parameter from the family to add it inside. So I'm going to the type properties of this on letter. I'm clicking on this rectangle. I'm going to create a new one in the detail item, also called letter. Type is good. All right, so this is type. I will go to the type properties and set some value. Let's put X for now. All right, there's our X. Next, I'm going to draw a line. So I'll go to the create tab, select a line, and okay, we just have the regular lines. So I like to draw my lines just next to the reference planes and then to ensure they're truly aligned and locked to the planes like this. All right, so I do have the auto lock set up. Then I will align each of the end of this line style. So I don't want a solid line. I want some sort of dash line. I will go to manage object styles, and then I will create a new subcategory. I don't know how to call it. Let's just call it dash. And line pattern, I can use many options. Let's use dash dot, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, and I will select this line and switch to dash. And you can see I have this dash dot pattern. That's good. Now I'm going to create a new reference plane right here and another one over there, and create new dimensions on this side and then on this side as well. Select both of the dimensions, click on this icon. I'll just call this offset. And then I will align this symbol. Since it is a nested family, we can see the reference planes from inside of this nested family. So I can align and lock like this. Same thing here. Okay, good. And now I will select this, use the array tool with shortcut AR. Here, I'm going to move it to the last one. So make sure it's last and not second. Okay, so I'll just move it like this. not quite at the reference plane, and then use align with AL, click, it's automatically locked, and same thing again on this axis. So normally what happens is that if I change the dimension, it follows along. Next, I will click on one of the elements in the array and select this line with the number 2, and I will click here to create a new parameter. And I can simply call it AR for array. Yeah, just call it array. There you go. And this one should be an instance parameter because it will be linked to the length of the line. We'll create another parameter called increment, which will allow users to determine at what distance the letters are placed. So let's say that I put them at 400 for now. And here in the formula, it's going to be length divided by increment. So I can see in this case, it would give me a 3 array. You can see automatically a third one is placed. So something I'm going to do immediately is to add a formula to ensure I always have at least 2 letters. If you're using an older version than Revit 2025, it will prevent some bugs. But even in this version, I always want to have 2 letters at least. So I will have if length divided by increment is smaller than 2, it should be 2. And if it's not the case, it's more, it's going to be length divided by increment. So you can see if I reduce the increment to a really small value, it will still be 2. Well, in this case, it would be 1, but you know, I still want my second letter. And then all of these dimensions can be adjusted by the users. Although I noticed that length, I did set it up as a type parameter. I will click on the pencil icon and make it instance instead. What else? Okay, this is looking pretty good. I could add multiple options for both the letter and for the line style. Let me give you an example. I can go to object style and create a new one that is dash dot dot. And the line pattern for this one is going to be dash dot dot. And I'm going to copy paste this one. And on the visibility, I will click on this box and call it dash dot dot. It's going to be a type parameter, good. And I'm also going to create a visibility parameter for the original line, clicking here. And this one is going to be dash dot. Okay, and let's say that I only have 2 line patterns. I will just add a little formula to ensure that both lines are never visible at the same time. Like this, it's not dash dot dot, so it's only one of the 2 that you can check. So these are type parameters. So far so good. I could create 2 types, like the first one would be with a letter X, and let's say the second one would be 45. Let's say I want to use it for fire resistance, and in 45 maybe I want to have dash dot, and the X one I want to have dash dot dot. All right, that's good. And now I can simply align and lock this line. It's automatically locked. So let's see, this is X, and I'm changing letter value to 45. And there you go. Now we have 45 inside of it. So that's looking pretty good, right? I'm going to save this family and then load it into the project. I can place it anywhere. So let's say that I place it right here, and then I drag. And you can see automatically I have all of these X. So maybe the tricky thing is that you cannot decide where the letter is going to be placed on the pattern. It's going to change based on the length, even based on the scale that you pick. So you don't have control over that. And in this case, there's too many X, so it could change the increment to, like, let's say 750, for example. And I could also play with the offset. I don't like the current distance, so let's say that I change that to a different value. Okay, so this is looking good. And let's say I want to create another one, but with the other type. I'm going to use type 45 instead of the X one, and also change the increment. Let's say this one to 1,000. And okay, that's good. And now I could press spacebar a few times. Let's say that I want to place it here, and I will just drag the boundaries. So there we go. I would say it's probably not my favorite way of like indicating fire resistance. I would prefer to use a filter We had a solid fill override, but if you really want something like this, that would be the way to do it. You can also use Dynamo to automatically place these detail lines. That's something I'm going to show in an upcoming video. The family showcase in this tutorial is available for downloads for the BIM Pure members. If you want more BIM, AI, and AC Tech videos, please subscribe to our channel. BIM Pure includes everything to make BIM less painful at your firm. Get self-paced courses from beginners to advanced. Download our Pro template for Revit to keep your projects organized. Use our Revit Doors and Windows collection for powerful, flexible, and intuitive families. Watch standalone lessons on emerging technology at the intersection of BIM and AI. Attend live masterclasses to get direct help from BIM experts. Our new BIM Manager Journey live course with Slantis includes strategy on how to be an efficient BIM manager, including advanced Notion setup. Enroll now and unlock all content at bimpure.com.